Khin. Welcome to the channel. Now, if you could you please introduce yourself and the work you do for our audience?
My name is Khin Maung Cho. I'm an advocate from Myanmar. I have a law firm. I'm running an intellectual property law firm.
Thank you. Now, how did you first get to know about HWPL? And what was your first impression on the organization?
So it was in 2018. There was a banquet at the Hotel in Yangon in Myanmar. There, I had seen Mr. Chairman Manhi Lee for the first time. So I met him in person. That's the first time. And I know the HWPL when I joined the organizations. Can I say something about the HWPL?
Oh, sure. Yes, please.
It's an international peace organization, worldwide, non-governmental, non-profit organizations working for the common purpose of peace and cessation of war. This organization is also associated with the UN organs, such as ECOSOC and DHC.
Thank you, sir. Now, you've mentioned that you met Chairman Manhi Lee at a banquet in Yangon, Myanmar. Now, could you please explain a little bit more about this event that you met him?
There were two events I've attended. That is in 2018. It's an event. It's a seminar on DPCW. That is the Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War. There, I gave a speech emphasizing on the necessity for the adoption of DPCW in Myanmar for the true peace in Myanmar, sustainable peace. And that was in 2018. And in 2019, there was another event. That's a summit. It's the 5th annual commemoration of HWPL Peace Summit. There also I delivered a speech. I had explained about the importance of peace, the necessity of peace, the importance of DPCW, and about the peaceful coexistence with the peoples of Myanmar in harmony, regardless of faiths and races. That's about the events I have impressed regarding the HWPL.
Thank you for sharing your experience. Now, we understand that situation of Myanmar has changed drastically since 2018.
Totally changed. In 2018, all the leaders of Myanmar sat at the peace table and discussed for the cause of peace in Myanmar. By contrast, in 2021, now, after the aftermath of the coup, following the takeover of the military regime, the peoples are waging the civil war against the military regime. So it's different.
Sir, as you mentioned in your previous answer, we know that there was a coup d'etat in Myanmar. Now, if you can you explain to us the current situation of Myanmar?
Peoples are killed. There are violences in cities and towns. So all the schools are closed. So children cannot have their schools. And there is economic Myanmar is suffering from triple crisis. Firstly, that is COVID-19. Secondly, political predicament. Thirdly, economic collapse. So all the peoples are suffering from these three crises. It's becoming a failed state if it cannot be saved in time. So we are trying to stop. We want to stop all these violences and conflicts immediately. That's the problem. Now she's in custody, and now she gave evidence before the court. It's in camera custody, the close court. You see, we cannot know the facts in details.
We heard that HWPL also issued a statement regarding violence in Myanmar. Now, sir, are you aware of this?
In 2021, HWPL issued a statement expressing a very deep concern over the current situation in Myanmar and urging the authority concerns and civilians to stop the violences and conflicts immediately in order to restore the peace and democracy in our country. That's the essence of the statement of HWP. We need more peace activities. So if you can send a peace delegation, it's good by HWPL and talk to the regime and the relevant parties.
Thank you, sir. I really hope that your hope of receiving peace messengers in the country of Myanmar can happen very soon. Now, sir, we understand that you have devoted your life to the peace work. Now, has any views or thoughts have changed after you started cooperation with HWPL?
Yes, I have changed. When I came to know about HWPL, and I'm more inspired by the concepts of HWPL and by the peace activities. And I've got many more friends, colleagues, brothers and sisters all over the world when I attended the summits. So we'll get the strong force to work together for the cause of peace all over the world.
Sir, you've mentioned several times that the concept of peace from HWPL and activities of peace from HWPL has inspired you. Could you please explain a little bit more which significant part has inspired you the most?
The most interesting is the DPCW. There are 10 articles and 38 clauses there. From Article 1 to 7, it's about the fundamental rights, freedom, justice, and peace. And from Article 8 to 10, it's about the freedom of religion and spreading of peace culture. So I've also explained it in details in the Peace Summit in Myanmar in 2019. As I gave the speech, I've also mentioned it. It's a very short discussion about the DPCW.
Which part of the DPCW was most interesting? Aren't there already many international law documents out there about peace? Which part of the DPCW do you think is the most significant, and which part triggered your interest the most?
I am impressed in another way. HWPL is formed in line with the international laws. It is in line with the ICCPR. That's the International Covenant on Civil and Political Documents, you see. And it's also in line with the United Nations Declarations Charter, you see, on human rights. It's also in line with the other international instruments accepted by the General Assembly. I'm a lawyer. I'm an advocate. I know about the international law. So all the laws accepted by HWPL is in line with the international law. That's just, I am impressed in this way. Normal NGOs cannot draft this document. I have read about this, the draft of the HWPL. This draft was prepared by the legal experts all over the world. So only just simple NGOs cannot draft like this.
Sir, this is a tough question that we ask all of our interviewees. Do you think world peace is possible?
As you know, Korea is divided. Can you combine these divided country? Is it possible? I think it's very hard. It's very hard. If you can connect these South Korea and North Korea, and people from South Korea, people from North Korea, can you connect? Is it possible? We heard about some news about the threats from the North Korea to the South Korea. There are some problems. Can you take the initiative to solve these Korean problems? Is it possible? If you can unite two Koreas by the concept of HWPL, you can do it at the same way all over the world. Okay, that's the answer to the questions.
Thank you, sir. I think believing that something is possible is a very good start. Now, we want to ask you our very last question today. Has HWPL had any impact on your life?
As to the influences of HWPL, I think HWPL is the best initiative for the movements of the world peace. I think we can achieve under the leadership of the Mr. Lee, we can go step by step towards peace.
Thank you, Mr. Khin, for being with us today. I understand that it could have been difficult considering the situation that Myanmar is facing today, but I really hope, I truly hope that peace can reach Myanmar very soon. Once again, thank you very much. Have a good day.